It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with a live Q&A. Today we got a few things to discuss, man. First off, breaking news, man. The Milwaukee Bucks, after surprisingly and inexplicably firing their head coach Adrian Griffin yesterday, they hired Doc Rivers today. I'm gonna say this, man. Giannis is slowly looking like Giannis look like he's trying to become LeBron, yo. That's what, as a Heat fan, I'm so excited that we have a stable organization to where, look, Spo is the guy, Pat Riley is the guy in the front office. We got a chain of command with the Miami Heat, and with the Bucks is like, okay, I thought it was a surprising move for them hiring Adrian Griffin to begin with. I'm like, okay, you got this championship ready team and you hiring this rookie head coach. Though we have seen it work out before in Toronto when they fired Dwayne Casey and promoted Nick Nurse. They win a championship the first year with Kawhi and Lowry and all them. But um for Griffin, man, clearly he got a raw deal, in my opinion. I mean, the team is 30 and 13, second in the East. But then you go hire Doc Rivers. Look, man, y'all could have kept Boonhauser for that. Like, if you gonna hire this young assistant, fire him, and then go get Doc, man, you could have kept Boonhauser. Boonhauser to me is a better head coach than Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, man, what did he do, bro? He got the championship in '08 with the Celtics, which he's still living on that '08 Celtics championship, which, quite honestly, anyone else would have won the championship with that team. Then look at it, like he gets this great Clippers team and never gets them to a Western Conference Finals. Tyronn Lue, gets them to a Western Conference Final. Then you go to Philly, you got the one seed. You can't even beat the Atlanta Hawks, man. Then, by the way, Nick Nurse is over there and they looking like they gonna do some things with the 76ers this year. So I don't get the whole Doc Rivers ain't nothing but a name, man. Like, let's keep it 100. Doc Rivers is a name. And, you know, for the look, as a Heat fan, I love it, man. Like, it's crazy, man. You ain't get Doc Rivers for a name, basically. Doc Rivers ain't about to coach Milwaukee into nothing. Like, he's just a name. Giannis might respect him, or Dame Lillard or whatever when he walk in the building because it's like, he won a champ. What has he done besides blow a bunch of 3-1 leads all over the place, man? So as a Heat fan, I love it, man. Go ahead, continue with y'all dysfunction and throwing coaches in and out of the building. Also, Eagles news, man. We interviewed Cliff Kingsbury for the offensive coordinator position. Apparently Nick Sirianni, Howie, and Lurie or whatever, whoever is gonna be, got a big press conference, at some point this afternoon or whatever. So I'm assuming it's us confirming to us that Nick Sirianni is back as the head coach. It's one of those moves where I'm not gonna lie. Initially after the game, I wanted Nick Sirianni gone. Since he's gonna be here, I'm not crying or pissed off about it, but I felt like we could have made a move. But if we're going to keep him, he has to hire really good coordinators on both sides. And I'm gonna say this: I know it's nothing but an interview, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I got a complete list of who should be the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want it to be Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, you had Kyler Murray, you had DeAndre Hopkins, you had those guys over there, and you didn't put a nice offense around him. So no thank you on Cliff Kingsbury. And before I get to y'all, man, Miami Heat take on the Grizzlies tonight. But the big news about that is, will Terry Rozier play tonight? He's listed as questionable, not injury related, but basically got to go through physicals and all that other stuff. He did land in Miami last night, so hopefully he could play, man. It'll be nice to him to play. Or we got a big game with the Boston Celtics tomorrow. If they want to wait to roll them out, then that's fine too. But of course, as a Heat fan, I'll be excited to see him get out there tonight, and see what we could do against a very depleted Grizzlies team, But we're gonna see. What's up, Juicy? Shock news. Probably it wasn't about basketball. From what I understand, it was all about basketball. Like from what I've been, reading and stuff like that, it sounds like he lost the locker room, or it's politics, man. In the NBA, it's politics. I mean, how can you have, for example, how can you have such an all-time legendary player like LeBron James, and every other year he need a new head coach? like like, I mean, come on, man. Like, he tried to get Spo ran out of Miami, but Pat Riley told his ass to get up out my office, man. Like, Spo is the guy. That's what I love about the Miami Heat organization is, it's a chain of command. The players don't run nothing in Miami. It's a chain of command. Now, granted, at times it annoys me because we fail and miss out on big time players like Dame Lillard this offseason. But it is good when you got good structure, and well, Milwaukee, they turned into a dysfunctional franchise. I mean, first of all, you ain't hire a guy. Allegedly, that was Giannis's guy, Adrian Griffin. So you hire him, and then you fire him with the team with a 30-13 record. I mean, the team not plummeting, the team not falling apart. They're winning basketball games. But, y'all looking at it like, yeah, but he not gonna coach. Man, come on, man. Like you got a two-time MVP in Giannis, a Finals MVP. Dame Lillard is an all-world player. What is Doc about to teach them? like let's just keep it 100. Y'all could have kept Boonhauser for that. Doc is not about to do anything spectacular in Milwaukee, man. I'm just saying he's not. So I feel, honestly, as a Heat fan, I feel good going into a series against Milwaukee right now if we healthy. They don't play defense though. I mean, that got a lot to me. And I heard that analogy as well. I feel like a lot of that got to do. Let's be honest with Dame Lillard. Like Dame Lillard is as great of an offensive player he is. He don't play defense. When you lose Drew Holiday, who is arguably the best on-ball perimeter defender, guard defender in basketball, you lose that and replace that with a guy who never was a defensive player. I mean, your defensive ratings are going to drop. I don't put that on Adrian Griffin. That's a player's thing. Like Doc is going to tell him to hustle? Like, what Doc going to say? Go out there, hustle. Doc not about to implement no big time strategic defensive system. Remember when he was doing this thing in Boston, Tom Thibodeau was like the quote unquote defensive coordinator, if you want to call it that. So yeah, like Doc is gonna tell them to hustle? Like, what is he gonna tell them to do? He gonna get on Dame Lillard, he gonna make Dame Lillard a better defensive player in 2 months? Like, that's individualism. That's in the individual actions. Like, you know, they just lost defensive tenacity getting Dame Lillard. They've added more of a scoring punch, but they lost their defensive tenacity. And that's the biggest problem with them right now. So, but I don't put that on the coach. Now, granted, I'm not in the meetings. I'm not in the when they watch a film and all that stuff. So I can't sit there and say I know that he's preaching it, or I know that he's not. But just from the outside looking in, I mean, what is Doc going to tell them? Doc going to tell them to hustle harder? Like, it's becoming a popularity contest over there. Giannis is like a LeBron. It looks like, oh, he tuned them out. I mean, well, like, I don't get it with these players, man. What's up, Malcolm Fripp? Cliff Kingsbury will definitely get the schemes up for all skilled players to cook. Being an OC or DC versus a head coach is a totally different animal. Arizona is still dysfunctional. That's a good point. Fair point by you. Really, really fair point. I, I guess he could be better than Brian Johnson. I mean, I don't know if anybody will be worse than him at this point. But man, I just it's like I want somebody that's trajectory is going up instead of down. You know what I'm saying? And not to say the Cliff Kingsbury thing can't work. Not to say that he's not gonna come in here and with this talent really get the best out of Hurts. But I just look at it and I feel like his trajectory is going down. And that's why it makes me not granted. Look, if we hire him, I'm gonna make the best of the situation. I'm gonna wait to reserve judgment till I see the product on the field. But he's not a name that gets me excited. What's up, Vlad? Ban me. Be enemy. You see, I like be enemy. I like be enemy. Simply because I feel like be enemy's trajectory is going up as an offensive coordinator. Look at Kansas City. Kansas, though they did well, against Buffalo this weekend, because Buffalo practically have nobody left on defense. Let's see how Kansas City look against this Baltimore defense with those linebackers out there on Sunday. Um, but the enemy, like what Sam Howell threw the ball around pretty well. You know, they're just a dysfunctional situation. And what I like about the enemy is the enemy holds people accountable. The enemy is not coming in as a homeboy, as a friend. He's gonna come in here and he's gonna lay down the law. He's gonna he's gonna get the best out of Jalen Hurts. He's gonna get the best out of AJ and Devontae and all them. I like the idea of the enemy as an offensive coordinator. If I think he got a chance to get the head coaching job in Washington, but I feel like that's a name that if we were to hire him, now I don't know what the interest level is because I never heard anything about us interviewing him or thinking about interviewing him. But he is a guy that if we hired him as an offensive coordinator, I would be happy with that. I would be happier with Bieniemy than Kingsbury. What's up, Brian Turner? LSU is likely not pursuing any transfer at this point. Is our recruiting class that stacked? It's a combination of that, and it's also a combination of they've took care of a lot of things, man. They took care of things as far as the defensive backs. We got a lot of DBs that we got coming in. Now, are any of them going to bring DBU back to prominence? That's yet to be determined, yet to be seen. But the quarterback situation seems like it's good. We loaded in the backfield. We got a lot of unproven. Well, we got some transfer receivers already, but we got some young receivers too. Defensive line, we shaping that up. Line, I would like to see us add another linebacker or two and probably another safety. But I think we'll see. I think we all right. Another thing, to be honest, too, we got this Brian Kelly to Michigan thing over our head right now because it does definitely look like Jim Harbaugh is going to go to the NFL, and there's a lot of reports that Michigan will pursue Brian Kelly. Me personally, I think Michigan should just give the job to the guy that's the offensive coordinator, the guy that held it down when Harbaugh was suspended. That's what I feel Michigan should do. But they're gonna look into Brian Kelly, and I never heard him. I don't know if nobody asked him that. I know it's the off season, but I ain't heard nothing put out there that Brian Kelly would definitely not take that job. So I guess that's another thing that's kind of hindering stuff at the same time too, because if we hearing it, recruits and transfers are hearing it. So I think once that news dies down, once Harbaugh leaves and Michigan actually hires somebody that's not Brian Kelly, I think we could see a little more movement going on. How about Johnson from the Lions OC? Well, he gonna get a head coaching job, so he's not gonna. I doubt that he'll make that lateral. It'll be a lateral move to move from the Lions OC to the Eagles OC. I think he's gonna be a head coach somewhere, and obviously we're not getting rid of Nick Sirianni. What it looks like. Exactly. Click. Don't got the spirit to get them young bucks in line. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't. I wouldn't be excited with Cliff Kingsbury. I just wouldn't. Bieniemy will come in and hold people accountable. That's what get me excited about it. Bieniemy doesn't like to run the ball though. Well, not consistently. We are a run first team. To then translate and open up the field. Um, I mean, they sure ran it in that Super Bowl against us, man. I think the running the ball thing, honestly, is more of an Andy Reid thing. Andy Reid has been historically known for not wanting to run the football. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say I watched a lot of Commanders football this year to know what their running percentage was. To be honest, they don't have great running backs in Washington anyway. McLaurin and Samuel and Dotson are, really where to go with that offense. But, you know, I just like that he holds the guys accountable. He'll run the ball a little enough here, I believe. I just like that he holds the guys accountable. And I just get the vibe and the feeling that, we got people that need their rear ends kicked. Nick Sirianni seems more of a buddy coach, and we need somebody gonna come in, gonna put foots in butts. You know what I'm saying? To get people in line. Yes, he will. Their receivers is their offense. Yeah, I agree. They didn't have good running. Like Brian Robinson, look, it's a nice story. He got shot in the leg, and it's a very, very miraculous comeback and miraculous situation and story. But he's not somebody you look at least that I look at, as a bell cow running back, gonna really just, you could give him to him 20 times a game and really get something out of it. So yeah, their offense, all their skill was to me was in their receiving core. Now, granted, for us, what we got to figure out is, it's going to be another interesting offseason for us because DeAndre Swift is a free agent. He only was with us for a year. Will we re-sign him? That's a decision that Howie and them got to make. We historically, since Shady McCoy have not really been known to pay running backs like that. So we're gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, I agree. They whole offense is their wide receivers, man. Kingsbury just don't do it for me, y'all. Like he don't do it for me. He could come in by all means and be great, but I just personally don't see it. Like Bieniemy would definitely get me excited as an Eagles fan. And and there's other names out there that if y'all throw them at me, or if I think about that, I may be like, all right, I like him. Frank Wright. I'm kind of so on Frank Wright. He's another one that his trajectory is down, but I do think he got dealt with a raw hand in Carolina. A rookie quarterback with no offensive line and really not much skill position players like that. So I could give Frank a little bit of a pass for that. But he's somebody and like I just kind of want to go away from the connection thing. Like the thing about that is Nick worked for Frank. So like I want to get away from the whole philosophy we got going on. Let somebody come in with their own ideas. Better resign them. Yeah, we gonna have to. For DC, we need a veteran prick for that. Will definitely teach the scheme and push them hard. Yeah, now as far as defensively, man, like that one, I liked Ryan Nielsen, but he went to Jacksonville. He was somebody I was interested in from Atlanta. But a name that I've been hearing that I feel like, Darius Slate came out and said it is Denard Wilson over there in Baltimore, the secondary coach. Um, you know, Slade felt like we should have given him the DC job when Gannon took the Arizona head coaching job. And you could see what he's doing. He did with the second. The DBs were a lot better last year when Denard Wilson was there. And Baltimore's secondary is out there flying around right now. So yeah, that's somebody that I would get excited about also if we brought him in, to not get it, defensive back coach and defensive coordinator is two totally different things. But I'm willing to, at least I know the secondary gonna be in line. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody I would get excited about, as a defensive coordinator hire. Bieniemy scheming for AJ, Devontae, and Goddard. I agree, Malcolm. Yeah, I would like Bieniemy. If we was to hire Bieniemy as the OC, I would be very excited about that. What's up, Jesus Saves? Yo, what's going on? And Ron Rivera as DC, Bieniemy as OC. They will have Nick looking over his shoulder. I don't know how I feel about Rivera as DC, man. Like I just I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Ron Rivera getting up there a little bit up there, man. Like, he getting up there a little bit, yo. I don't know if that would get me excited. Just to be honest with y'all, man. Washington's defense was awful this past season. Washington's offense was middle of the pack. They were putting up. They were okay to say they ain't got a good quarterback. But and I get it. They don't have great. They did have a really good D line. They just got rid of Montez Sweat and Chase Young this year. But before that, man, their defense been treacherous. So like I don't know if I'm excited about Ron Rivera, being the DC. Just to be honest with y'all. Um, I mean, I don't know about Brandon Staley neither. Like, another guy that's name's been thrown around out there. Um, I don't think Buffalo gonna come off of McDermott. People thought Buffalo may fire McDermott. Obviously, if they did, I would want to jump on McDermott as a DC. I feel like his issue was injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Um, we're gonna see, man. But to me, the name right now, just off the top of my head, that gets me the most excited right now is Denard Wilson. That's the name right now that gets me the most excited. But you're going to be back at square one with Wilson because another first year DC, a new scheme again. We just need a vet. I'm good with a vet. If a vet come in and know what he's doing. The Wilson thing, I'm excited. I would get excited about is because the DBs worked with him. That he's been doing some good things, man. Like Brian Johnson. I mean, we could say that he was working with Hurts. I get that. And, he came in very well recommended, from Hurts and all them. But and I was excited about it at first, but obviously it just didn't work. He was in a little in over his head. Sean Desai, I didn't know much about him. I still feel like Desai got a little bit of a raw deal. I feel like, Desai was a lot better than people gave him credit for. And when you got Patricia, you just made things a lot worse. I'm cool. I'm cool with a vet, but which vet? I don't know if Ron Rivera get me excited. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm sure there's other veteran defensive coordinators out there that I'll be like, okay, I'll get a little excited about him. But I get what you're saying. You making a great point as far as we can't do the rookie coordinator thing again. I get you with that, but I would get excited with Wilson. But get a vet that looks like his trajectory is up, man. Like we can't. It's a difference between a vet and a retrade. I just don't want a retrade. BJ, no shade, bro, but you ain't ready. They ain't let the side materialize. I felt like the side got a little bit of a raw deal, man. Why would he come back after Nick fired him for the side? That's a fair point too, but um, the same reason why you look at the Denver Broncos. They fired Vance Joseph as the head coach. Vance went back over there as the defensive coordinator. You look at LSU. LSU fired, like basically let Corey Raymond walk. And Corey Raymond is back, at LSU. So, if you're getting a promotion, I mean, I don't think you would stay and be. I don't think you would stay and be a D back coach somewhere if you're given a promotion. Like I get what you're saying, but I mean, I think he would take the DC job if offered to him. Yeah, the side got scapegoated. Yeah, I feel like it was an overreaction when you look back on it. What's up, Jared Gars? Salute, Mr. D. Salute. What's going on? Getting Wink. I would be okay with Wink. I would be okay with Wink. I would be okay with Wink Martindale. I would. I like his blitz packages. He's aggressive. He is a vet that you're talking about. I felt like he did pretty good with that Giants defense. I thought he did a decent job with that defense. I didn't think he had a whole lot of personnel to work with over there. Now, granted, we're gonna have to upgrade the linebacker and safety position. But I felt like he did a pretty good job with that defense. I thought he did a decent job with that defense. I didn't think he had a whole lot of personnel to work with over there. Now, granted, we're gonna have to upgrade the linebacker and safety position. But and even get a younger corner or two. But I would, I'd be okay with Wink. The media was saying the same thing about Gannon last year. At least the side was 10-1. Yeah, I mean, it's just he had two bad games, man. He really had a bad game and a half. The 49ers game was just abysmal. But a lot of that had to do with, man, you had special teams guys playing linebacker, and the guys wouldn't tackle. I get it. It looked bad against the 49ers. And in the first half against Dallas, it looked really bad. I thought in the second half against Dallas, the defense competed. I thought they played better. The problem was the offense kept fumbling the ball away. And it was just a bad decision by Nick. It was a overreaction. To give the job to somebody like Matt Patricia, who clearly just didn't really have a pulse on what should have happened with the team, with the personnel. So yeah, man. I would be okay with Wink. I would. Wink Martindale. I'd be like, all right, I know somebody gonna come in with a little aggressiveness. Somebody gonna come in with, a resume. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely would feel better, about Wink Martindale. But all right, y'all, man. Let me run. Got to tend to some business and stuff. But it was good chopping it up with y'all for a little bit. Just stay tuned, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all again later today, man. Y'all have a blessed one.